Have you ever met someone who doesn't say much, but you can't stop thinking about them? They walk into a room and say nothing, but suddenly the atmosphere changes. They don't try to impress you. They don't talk over anyone. They don't show off. And yet, they're unforgettable. You lean in without even realizing it. Why? Because there's a gravity to them. A stillness. You don't know much about them, and that is exactly why you want to know more. Today, I'm going to show you how to create that exact effect, without acting fake, without being cold, and without playing childish games. This is real mystery, the kind that makes people curious, obsessed, and captivated, long after you've left the room. Let's go deeper. Most people think being mysterious means being quiet, aloof, hard to read, but that's not real mystery. That's just distance. See, being distant pushes people away, but being mysterious pulls people in. There's a difference. Real mystery isn't about talking less, it's about revealing less, intentionally. It's the art of keeping people wondering, not confused, but curious. It is knowing that you don't need to spill your whole life story to feel seen. In fact, the more you leave unsaid, the more people start to lean in. Think about it like this. When someone gives you every detail of who they are, what they think, what they feel, it's like opening a book and reading the last page first. There's nothing left to discover. But when someone speaks with calm control, when they share enough to spark your interest, but not enough to fully satisfy it, you start chasing the next page. You imagine the rest. You start projecting your own thoughts and feelings onto them. And that, right there, is where real intrigue begins. Mystery is created when you leave space for curiosity, and don't rush to fill it with noise, not coldness, not arrogance. Just calm confidence and silence that holds power. Now let's talk about your energy, because mysterious people don't overexpress. They don't react the way you expect, and that alone is captivating. Ever noticed how we live in a world of overreaction? Everything is loud. Emotions are on full display. People rant, cry, scream. So when someone walks in with composed stillness, they stand out. Not because they're trying, but because they're not trying at all. Controlled emotion isn't about being fake, it's about being grounded. It's about knowing that your emotions are real, but they don't control you. Mysterious people show hints, micro-expressions, subtle responses, and it drives people crazy in the best way. Why? Because when you don't give them everything, they imagine everything. The less you show, the more they project. And that's where obsession begins. They start wondering, what are they really thinking? Why didn't they react? Do they like me or not? That mental tension, that gap between what they feel and what they know, becomes a loop in their brain they can't close. And now, you're unforgettable. Let's talk about what you choose to reveal. Because mystery is not about hiding. It's about choosing. Selective exposure is a superpower. Mysterious people talk about things, but not everything. They share opinions, but not all at once. They open up, but only at the right time. And this delay, this intentional pause, builds value. Think about someone who's quick to tell you everything about themselves. Their past, their trauma, their dreams, their drama within the first 10 minutes. There's no weight to it, no gravity. It feels like an emotional dump truck. But when someone shares pieces of themselves, slowly in layers, you start listening more carefully. You begin to appreciate each piece. Because now, every detail feels earned. The truth is, we don't value what we get easily. We value what takes time to understand. Be known, but never fully understood. That's mystery. Now here is a twist that most people miss. Mystery isn't about passively waiting for people to notice you. It's about making the first move and then pulling back. This is the approach-pull dynamic. You initiate, you walk over. You speak, you compliment, you engage, and then you pull back. You don't cling, you don't hover, you don't overstay. You leave a gap, a space, a question. People don't chase what's always available. They chase what's almost within reach, but not quite. This isn't manipulation. It's confidence. It's the difference between saying, "Please like me," and saying, "Here I am. Take it or leave it." That energy is powerful. Because when you're not begging for attention, people start giving it freely. Let's talk about one of the most underrated tools of mystery: unfinished conversations. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room to leave an impression. You just need to know when to leave. Ever ended a conversation on a high note and walked away before it got awkward or boring? That's the secret. Leave while the energy is still rising. Leave them wanting more. The brain hates incomplete stories. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. We remember unfinished tasks more than completed ones. So when someone leaves a conversation halfway through a story, or disappears before the night ends, we obsess, we think. We replay it, we imagine what could have happened next. And that creates a loop of interest that lasts far longer than any perfect conversation ever could. Being mysterious is not about being less. It's about being strategic, being intentional. Knowing that space, silence, pause, they're not empty. They're powerful. When you combine emotional control, selective openness, and calm confidence, you don't just become mysterious. You become magnetic, unforgettable. Someone people talk about when you're not around. Someone they feel, but can't fully explain. As Lao Tzu once said, "He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know." Mystery isn't about knowing nothing. It's about knowing enough and choosing what to say. It's not about hiding. It's about revealing slowly. It's not about being cold. It's about being calm. And it's not about being fake. It's about being rare. Because people don't chase what they understand. They chase what they can't quite figure out. And if they can't fully figure you out, they'll never forget you. That's your edge. That's your power. That is how you become the most mysterious person in the room, without saying a word. Fade out.